Oh my god.
Well, welcome back, everyone.
Well, welcome back everyone to season 2. Yeah.
Season 2. Wow.
Did we
Who
mean?
knew?
I mean, we meant to do a season 2. Were we gonna do it at that point?
Probably
No.
not.
Whatever. I wanted to get it even 30, but it's okay
Oh, we'll shoot for 30 next time. I mean,
this
to be
time.
we did record another episode, and I think both of us were kind of like meh about it. We're like, you know what? There's so much
No.
shit going on, huh?
Oh, say your thing.
Oh, it's like there's so much shit going on, like just with family and like
Yeah.
just a bunch of things were just happening, and it was just kind of like we just don't have the time
Yeah.
to record,
Yeah.
set aside time, and it was just getting like, we'll just come back when things settle down a little bit, and they
Yeah.
kind of did, I guess.
Things got crazy. We basically recorded, and then I was like, Tifa, can you upload? And then she was like, yeah, totally. And then she didn't. And then I was
And I
like, oh,
forgot.
I was like, I'll just do it next week. And then I didn't do it week after. And then I was like, well, whatever.
Yeah, so it was a shit show. Okay, guys.
Yeah.
Surprise, we didn't have our shit together.
Latifah just got back from a trip right now.
Literally like 10 minutes ago, I got home and I was like, let me throw some laundry in quick, and I did. And then I was like, okay, let me set up my microphone, and then I forgot the password to my computer, and I was like, fuck. So I was like, okay, but yeah, here we are.
Yeah, tell us about your trip.
Oh, so I went to South Dakota and Wyoming. That was kind of a surprise.
You did?
Yeah, I went to the Black Hills.
Hold on. Let me look at a map. Hold on.
I went to Nemo, South Dakota, like the fish, if you want to look up the city.
Wyoming. Okay.
Yeah, so I went to we went to Nemo, South Dakota, which is in the Black Hills. Oh my gosh, I have so much shit about this trip. I went with Miguel and Barap, the bikers riding against police brutality. Just as like a, I don't know, like a retreat type of thing. It really reminded me of going to camp, like APYC days, in a weird way.
Weird. Okay.
Yeah, so we rented a cabin house out there. It was probably like 11 of us total. One of the people in the group is Native American. Well, a couple people in the group are Native, but he is from the Black Hills and his family's out there still, and that's where he's from. And we went out there, and on the way there, we rode with one of the members, and Miguel and I rode with one of the members out there because she was trailing the bikes, and it was just like a rough start. Like we got there and like we saw the trailer Miguel's bike in there, and that was like a whole mess because the things kept snapping. And then we left, and then we stopped for gas at one point, like 4 hours into the trip, and this is supposed to be like an 8-hour trip. We stopped for gas, and they like check the bikes, and the bikes are loose, and they're like falling over. So they're like, Miguel's like, I just have to ride my bike the rest of the way. And like in the meantime, she got stung by a bee. She's allergic to bees, and I was like, what the fuck? I had to stab her with an EpiPen. Her EpiPens were expired, but I actually made Miguel bring his EpiPens because I didn't know. I mean, you just never know. Like, you never know when you're going to need an EpiPen. Yeah. So she got stung by a bee. So
Ew, how was that? You had to do it for her?
Yeah, I had to stab her. She's like, "Cuz, just stab me in the leg." I was like, I don't want to.
You're like, ugh, gross.
Yeah,
I can't believe you did that. Wow.
I know. I'm proud of myself, truthfully. Wow. But then from there, Miguel had to ride his bike out there for another 4 hours. And this is like just as we're getting like close-ish. Like it was like still like a full 4.5 hours. And like by that time we were losing daylight because we left a little late. And like we had to restrap her bike down because it was falling. And it was just a lot. And then actually she ended up getting stung by a bee again like the day before we left. So we had to use the other
Oh my god. Hello?
We went to Crazy Horse.
Wait.
So we drove through the Badlands.
Wait.
We went. Yeah, I can hear you.
Oh, okay. You went out for a second.
Oh, well, I can still hear you.
Oh, okay. Fierce.
Yeah, we went to the Badlands, we went to Devil's Tower, and that was when we went to Wyoming. We were really close to Montana too, and I was like, can we just go to Montana? Like, we're right here. I just want to cross it off and like go there. Um, but yeah, the campground was really nice. A lot of Trump supporters. That was kind of like, I think it was like 2 days before the trip. I started crying and I texted Calvin and our other friend in our group chat. And I was like, I'm scared of South Dakota.
Oh, I
I'm
didn't know
gonna
you
get
were
murdered.
crying.
Huh?
I didn't know you were crying.
Oh yeah, I was crying.
Oh.
I didn't say it was crying, but I was crying.
Okay.
I was like, I'm just so stressed out because I was like, there's so many races. They're gonna like, because they're BRAP. I know that if someone would try to mess with me or like say something, that they would get defensive, like, and rightfully so, and like stand up for me. And I was like, nah, that's how Black people get killed. I'm not trying to do that. Like, please. So I was really nervous. It was a fun trip though. We did get weird looks a lot of places that we went, but I was like, there's enough of us. Nobody. I don't think I would go back by myself.
Yeah.
But it was cool. Miguel wants
Did
to
you
get a
have
cabin
fun?
out there now. I did. I had a lot of fun.
Okay.
Yeah, it was cool. It was a nice little trip. I didn't have cell service for most of the time, so it was kind of nice. I had like a break from social media for the last few days, for the most part. I slept in the car on the way there and on the way back a lot. Yeah, overall, it's a pretty cool trip.
Yeah, because Latifah was like, I don't want to go. And I was like, just go. And
it's
then
too late.
I asked my friend, I was like, should I have given her that advice? And he was like, no, I would have told her to stay home. I was like, oh, oops.
Oopsies.
I was like, yikes.
Yeah, but it was okay. I did have to listen to country music both ways, like country and like classic rock music on the way there and on the way back. So Miguel's like, why are your AirPods in the whole time? I'm like, because I don't want to be listening to this. I would rather stab myself with an EpiPen. But yeah, I was like, that was probably the worst part. But that's really not that bad.
Like, is this country music? I'm allergic.
Honestly, though, I think I'm allergic to cigarette smoke because my allergies were acting up out there. But then the girl we rode with, she smokes. And she would like, she's not allowed to smoke in the car because it was her husband's car and he doesn't smoke and he didn't want it to start smelling like smoke. So every time that we had pulled over and she would smoke, after she got back in the car, I would start sneezing. And I'm like, am I allergic to cigarette smoke? Maybe that's what it is. Which I was like, great. I have more ammo to not be around people with smoke.
Yeah, I mean, secondhand smoke is like worse for you.
Yeah. And I'm like, I just don't want to. Okay, so I have this whole thing where like I don't care if like my friends smoke or anything, but like I would really prefer my partners not to smoke because it's just gross and like I don't want to have to deal with it, truthfully. And like to me, it's a waste of money, it's a waste of your health, and like I don't want to have to live through that and be like, okay, well you got lung cancer now because you've been smoking for 30 years, and I'm gonna have to watch you die. Like I know that's kind of selfish, but whatever.
Yeah.
So that's that. But yeah, that was my trip. Calvin was also recently in Minnesota.
Yeah. Oh, yes, I was. I was in Minnesota twice actually in the same month. No,
within a month of
within a month. Yeah. So I went back to Minnesota for a weekend. And originally I had planned to go to Minnesota to help my little sister do her prom because it was like her prom, so I was gonna do her hair, makeup, and stuff, which I did. But then my aunt got sick and was in the hospital, and then she was in a coma for a long time, I think, and then she was getting better. They actually woke her up, like they took her off sedation for like a day or something, and then she went back into her coma, in her induced coma. And then basically I got a call like the day, like 2 days before I was supposed to leave, or the day I was, no,
like 2 days before.
Yeah. Before I was supposed to leave, and my family was like, hey, we're gonna take your aunt off sedation and off of the ventilator.
Like life support,
yeah, life support. So if you could come soon, that'd be great. So I basically had to buy a whole new ticket for that night, And then I left work early and like I got on a plane and then went right to Minnesota. And then
Do you ever go to the hospital? Were you with her when they took her off?
no, they wouldn't allow that. They only allowed
It's
I
like
think
3 or 4 people.
3 or 4 people. It was my dad, my uncle, Auntie Sharon, and my grandma.
Oh, well, that
And then
was
all
nice.
the
At
kids,
least for siblings.
yeah, all the kids had to stay home, and Auntie James was at home too. So yes, and then yeah, she passed away, and it was really sad. And then like the next day, I had to do my sister's hair and makeup for prom, and she went, and it was sickening and fierce. But yeah,
It was so awkward. I was like, not in a bad way, but it was just like, okay, Ilean just passed. And not that I didn't want Boo Boo to go to prom, but I was like, good for her that she's still doing that for herself. But it was also like weird because Boo Boo got ready in Eileen's room. So
yeah,
like, I was like,
yeah, that was weird. When I think about it. I mean, clearly remember one time, I think my grandpa was sick and Auntie Eileen like told Boo Boo to still go to like her school dance or something.
mm-hmm.
So it's very in character that Boo Boo like still went
Yeah,
to her dance because Eileen would have been like, "You better go, bitch,"
right.
because Boo Boo just likes to stay home, and Auntie Eileen's always like, "You have to like go out and like
Go
do
out, make
something,
friends, go
please."
do stuff. Right.
Yeah. So that was really in character. But yeah, we did get ready in Auntie Eileen's bathroom and her room. So that was weird. My grandma wanted me to sleep in there, and I was like, I don't want to sleep in there. That's weird.
Yeah.
But yes. So then I went home. I was only home for that weekend. And then
It was like Memorial Weekend.
No, was it?
I think so, because we went to. Oh no, it was the weekend before. It was the weekend before.
It was like 2 weeks before.
Yeah.
Because she passed away on the 13th of May.
Wow, it's already been a month.
Yeah, which is coincidentally, I think that was Hmong American Day. So.
Oh, well, yeah. Well, now we have June 5th, which is really
yeah,
day.
purr.
Big purr. Sorry,
Ew.
Gray.
Yeah. So then I pretty much like 3 weeks later, we got the funeral home. What was that?
That was my phone. I'm sorry.
Oh. Yeah. So then her funeral was 3 weeks later on June 5th and 6th.
Yep.
And I was there for like the whole week, so we were like doing stuff, preparing, and had the funeral. And I saw Latifah and George and Gary and everyone else. So yeah.
Yeah, it was really nice. I mean, it was like very unfortunate circumstances, but it was nice to see everybody and like be together and like commemorate and.
Yeah. We had a pool party right after. Oh my god. Okay, let's talk about the funeral.
So bad.
So, traditionally, Hmong funerals are 3 days long. If you're a shaman, then it involves like calling the spirit and like taking the spirit, and the shaman will like play the flute, the Hmong flute, and like he will basically like take the spirit from where the spirit was born and like through all of its stages of life, and then bring it back, and then the shaman will be like, "This is you. You're dead now. Go to the afterlife."
Go, bitch.
So that's why it takes like so long. But for my family, because we're Christian, it's still traditionally would be 3 days long, but it's more like program, like people speaking and like the pastor doing like a sermon or some shit. I don't know. So it's like all about that. But because of COVID, this was only 2 days long. So it was Saturday, Sunday.
Mm-hmm.
And Saturday
it was like from what, 8 a.m. to 10 p.m.
Like 8 a.m. to 10 p.m. I was alone most of the morning, just like listening to speeches. Were you there?
I got there at like 12:30.
Oh, okay. Did you see like? Oh, you saw all the speeches from like Melvin Carter or whatever else.
Yeah, I missed Walls' speech, but I saw Mayor Carter's speech and like everyone that was after him and like the U of M and stuff.
Yeah. So on Saturday, basically Governor Walz was there. Our representative, what? Our
He's
senator.
Our governor.
No. Our senator, Fong, her,
mm-hmm.
or whatever. the mayor, Melvin Carter, all of the or some of the regents from the Minnesota. I was going to say State Fair,
The U of M.
the U of M, and then Nuccia was there, which is one of the nonprofits that Auntie Ilean formed, and a lot of these people spoke, and they are Governor Walz and Mayor Melvin Carter declared June 5th as Ilean Her Day in Minnesota and in the city of St. Paul. So every June 5th, turn up, bitch.
Yeah, we're going to throw all the pool parties June 5th.
Yes. And so this is an aside, but basically all of my friends came, and my friends, I know my friends because of Auntie Ilean. So she formed that APYC, which is we talked about before, but it was a extracurricular youth group, and so that's how I know all my friends in Minnesota. I didn't have any friends. If Auntie Ilean never formed that, I would have like no friends, which is silly, but true. So
no, because I felt the same way. Because I was like, if I haven't joined APYC, like literally any meaningful relationship that I have now is like because of that, you know.
True. So all of our friends were there. All my cousins were there. At around like 4, we went to go to the brewery.
And it was so fucking hot.
It was hot that day. It was like 95, humid as shit, bitch.
Calvin's wearing a full suit.
Yeah, I'm wearing like a suit, and I'm sweating. Like my back is wet. It looks like I fucking jumped in the pool, but just my back.
Yeah, kind of.
It was disgusting. And then this when I think about this, I get disgusted. Which is we were so sweaty, and then we went back to the funeral to sit down in the funeral for 3 hours, and then we cried those 3 hours.
Yeah. I was like, I can't wait to go home and take a shower.
Yeah, I was like, when I think about it now, I'm like, that is so nasty.
See, and I had to drive back to Brooklyn Park and then go home. Like, I didn't even go home right away. Like, I had to drive for like another hour and then an hour back home. And I was like, I feel gross. Like, my legs were sticking together. I thought like bugs were crawling on me, but it was just my sweat dripping. I was like, this is disgusting.
Yeah. And like, at one point, I got up and I was like, I need to use the bathroom. And then I basically like washed my face and like took off my suit jacket and like my shirt and like just rinsed off my like arms and stuff. So yeah, that was fun. Anyways, it was done at like 10 p.m.
Yeah, it was really long, which is fine. It was good. Parts of it was funny. Calvin's sister went up a couple times and spoke, and every time she did, I fucking bawled my eyes out. I was like, she'd open her mouth and then just cry.
Yeah. And then Sunday was a burial. We had a little bit of service in the morning, but Sunday we headed to the burial site, and the burial happened. I released some butterflies. Yes.
I have the butterfly box.
Oh, just throw it away.
You don't want it?
I mean, I think it's like an old Adidas box that I just wrapped, but you can throw it away, yeah.
Okay, if you don't want it, I guess.
And then we had a pool party.
We did, and we did because Ilean for like the longest time, and I remember coming over and her being like, why don't you guys invite more of your friends over and like swim in the pool? We're like,
Yeah.
It just never happened.
So we had a pool party to celebrate her life. And it's very in character because, like Latifah said, she always wanted to have like a big pool party and have the pool clean for the summer and like grill and like have a bonfire and like have all my friends over and stuff. Because all of my friends are her mentees. Like she's mentored them for probably 10 years now ish.
Yeah.
So we thought that we would just do that because the pool was slightly clean and everyone was already there at the funeral. So
we're like, yeah, let's just keep hanging out because I don't think we've seen most of them. Like we did a dinner Friday night too, I guess. I forgot to mention that.
Oops.
We did a dinner and there was like 15 of us.
Yeah.
So like we got together and some other people came to the funeral or like stopped by. But yeah, we just kind of got together because around this time of the year in the summer is when we would go to camp anyway. especially like the week of the funerals. Like usually the first or second week in June, we go to camp, and like that's where we all mostly met or like formed friendships. And it's funny, like looking back, like Ilean made us cry at camp, and then she passed, and she just made us cry again because she loved to make people cry.
She does. I clearly remember she doesn't love formal speeches, but because she was the executive director of the Council on Asian Pacific Minnesotans, every year she would have to give a speech at the dinner, at the Asian American Heritage Month dinner, which is every May. And so like her thing is like to make a moving speech that people will cry. So that's like her thing to do. So yeah, that she loves to make people cry. That's what I remember.
And that's what she did.
And that's what she did. She was like, "LOL, bitches."
Y'all thought I was done with you, but I'm not.
Yeah, but I will say that was very powerful for her to do at camp, to have everyone open up like that. And some people told very, very open and honest stories that
everybody was super vulnerable.
Yeah, and they were sharing to probably about like 30 or 40 kids.
No, there was like 60 kids the first year.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, okay. Fierce. So I don't know how she did that, but she was just like, everyone sit down and let's be vulnerable together. And
I don't even remember how it started, because it was just like, and then at one point I'm just like, we've been here for 2.5 hours and everybody's crying and everybody's talking about like life stories and like tragic things they've had to go through. And I'm like, what happened here?
You know that scene in Mean Girls where Regina's like just throwing up like those papers, and then there's a scene of her and she's like, yeah. That's what I think about. That's what
I thought you were going to talk about when they're all talking about their feelings.
Oh, that too. We did that.
Yeah, it's like, okay. But yeah, that's what... Oh, we didn't do our segment. It's okay. I guess this has kind of been a longer intro, and it's kind of what we're going to talk about anyway. Segment? What are you obsessed with?
Oh, okay. We can talk about that now. And then just go back.
Yeah.
Okay. You go. You had 5 hours to think about it.
Okay. What am I obsessed with? I feel like I might have said this the last time we recorded, but I don't feel like it's changed. This week, I've been obsessed with ice cream. Like, I don't know what it is. Oh my God, I had ice cream at least 3 or 4 times on the trip, and I thought about stopping eating ice cream on the way home today. And I also had ice cream today. I was like, I just like ice cream. So I've been,
like yeah. Oh my God, brownie bites. Wow.
There are no brownies in my house. What a time. But yeah.
Yeah. Okay, cool.
I like ice cream.
That's what you're obsessed with?
Yeah, I really like ice cream.
What do you get?
Okay, so I had a soft serve chocolate cone. I had a vanilla and chocolate ice cream, scoop of ice cream on a waffle cone. Then today I had a hot fudge sundae. I've been getting a lot of Oreo McFlurries or like a Reese's Blizzard. So that kind of stuff.
Now I want ice cream. Oh my God.
Yeah.
I do think that I prefer like orange sherbet. I think orange sherbet is like...
I haven't had orange sherbet in forever, but I always want it, if that makes sense.
Yeah, like the rainbow sherbet.
I'm like, oh, that sounds good.
Love that, yes. I've been obsessed with like 2 things. The first one is water. I'm like obsessed with water. I like crave water.
Okay, do you crave water or do you crave flavored water?
Both. Because last time, I think the last episode, I said I was obsessed with Crystal Light, which I am. But then I was like, I should probably just like get used to the taste of water, and not rely on like having it to taste like fruit punch or whatever. So I like would dilute it down, and then now I'm just drinking either water with like a lemon slice in it, or just plain water with ice.
Yes.
So good for me, guys. And I try and drink like
Oh, you like broke up a little bit. That was weird.
Oh, am I here?
Yeah.
Hello. Okay,
I can hear you now. That was weird.
Yeah. Okay. So I try and like drink like 60 4 to
Wow,
100.
same.
Wow. Yeah, because my
Because you're supposed to
Nalgene. Oh, what?
go ahead. Never mind.
Oh, my Nalgene water bottle is like 48, so I try and drink like 2 of those ish. 2 to 3. Yeah, whatever.
Yeah, because you're supposed to drink half of your body weight in ounces of water every day.
Oh, what? Wait, how much?
Yeah, so like if you like, I weigh about 120, 125 pounds, so I should drink like 60, roughly 60 ounces of water a day to stay hydrated.
Oh,
The more you know.
okay. Anyway, so I'm obsessed with water. Like, water's like my new thing. Have you heard of it?
Have you had it before?
Yeah, have you? It's kind of new. It's like kind of indie. And then the other thing
Stop.
the other thing I'm obsessed with is trail mix. Yeah.
Disgusting.
I don't know
hate you.
why. I don't know why I love trail mix like suddenly, but I had some at work. I was like, oh my god, why am I not eating this like every day?
Do you even like everything in trail mix?
I like the saltiness of the peanuts, and
Okay.
then the what is it? The M&Ms, like that's just chocolate, and then I like raisins. I don't think a lot of people like raisins, but I love
No.
raisins.
No, because I'm like,
Do
I'm the
you?
person. No, I'm the person in the like, if you get trail mix, I'm just gonna eat the M&Ms.
Bitch, I might as well just buy you a pack of M&Ms then.
Exactly. So don't waste your time or money.
You don't eat chocolate. You don't eat peanut M&Ms.
No, I prefer the crispy M&Ms.
I thought you eat like isn't there like almond M&Ms?
No, I don't know. I feel like nuts and chocolate like happen to be together a lot of the times so they don't need to be. I like Snickers bars and I like Reese cups, but like,
Do you like peanut butter?
yeah, I love peanut butter.
I don't like peanut butter in chocolate. I think that's nasty.
Okay, but
I'll eat it, but if like
chocolate are
whatever.
okay.
Yeah,
That's
because I like the
stupid.
saltiness of the peanuts in trail mix. Trail mix is fun. Trail mix is fierce. Trail mix is sexy.
I don't look at trail mix. I'm like, wow, this trail mix is sexy.
This trail mix is hot. Okay. Yeah, but I don't know why I love trail mix now. So I had to go buy trail mix because I keep eating it at work, but it's like single packet, like I don't know, like packaged. So yeah.
So you're just buying like a big old bag or like jar
Yeah, I
now?
just want like my own bag, but I don't eat too much because the peanuts have a lot of fat in it. And I have to like.
Oh yeah, because you do macros, don't you?
Yeah, I have call my macros. So.
So that is
Yes, trail mix.
so
Yes.
gross.
I was gonna ask something, but then I forgot.
Oh, well.
Well, we have to take a break anyway, so.
Yeah. So we'll be back.
We will be back, and we will continue with something.
Yeah. Who knows? This will be a surprise
Not
to
us.
us too.
Yeah. All right.
But yeah.
Listen to the ad. Bye. Gas
Hello.
Queen.
Hello, big purr energy. What were we talking about? You said you wanted to ask me something, but you forgot, and I'm assuming you still don't remember.
It was about like something. Oh, I was gonna say you don't like raisins, right?
No.
Why not?
I just don't. I don't know. I don't like the texture of raisins.
Do you eat any dried fruit?
I like what are they? Dehydrated apples. Those are good.
Dehydrated what?
Dehydrated apple chips. Have you had them?
Oh, yeah.
I like those. But I think that's really it. Like I don't know. Maybe dried pineapple, but I like the juiciness of pineapples. Probably not.
I like to eat like dried like peaches or whatever and plums.
Oh, or like peaches or like apricots.
Yeah, because those feel like gummies.
Yeah, they're like candy.
Yeah. And then I was gonna say that I think that walnuts do not belong in banana bread. I think that's disgusting.
I don't think nuts belong in banana bread. I prefer chocolate chips or like chocolate nibs.
Same.
But yeah. This is a side note. It'll be too late when this episode comes out for people to do this, but and I don't even know if I should tell you this either. Tarte right now for the next 48 hours is doing a whole set. You get 7 full size products for $63. Like you get a whole face kit. For like,
Really?
yeah, I just did it on the way here, and they accept Afterpay. So after this
So not
episode,
sponsored at all, but
not sponsored, but I'm waiting for my kit now. I ordered it today when I was in the car. I was like, what?
hold on. What did you get? Let me look.
You get like 7. You get like a foundation. You get like a moisturizer or like concealer. You get like an eye product, mascara, or lashes. Like you get a lot for $63 and free
Yeah,
shipping.
because okay, so today, California opened technically.
Oh, like you guys were ever really closed.
Yeah, so technically, like everything's like it can be at full capacity and like no social distancing apparently.
Oh,
I didn't go to the gym because I skipped so that we could do this, so I don't know what the gym's going to look like.
I'm going to the gym tomorrow in the morning.
Oh, fierce.
Yeah.
So I don't know if people are. I think private companies are like either enforcing or not enforcing masks. I'm not quite sure how that's like gonna go down, especially in Orange County. Because it wasn't here, but there was a story that like some cashier was like, "Can you please wear a mask?" And then the guy like went out back to his car and got a gun and shot him.
Oh, something like that happened here. I don't remember. I think I talked about this on the podcast last year, but there's a restaurant in Lakeville, the next town over, where they were open at 100% capacity, serving beer,
Oh
all of that stuff.
Yeah.
And then the owner of that restaurant was caught going to like a Jimmy John's in another town. And like the kid asked him, like the worker asked him to put on a mask because this is before the mandate ended. And he like punched the kid, and people were like, what a piece of shit. Like you own a restaurant and you literally have employees that work for you and you know how it is. And like he punched the kid in the face. And they got it on camera, like on the security cameras.
This is an aside, but I low-key want Jimmy John's now.
Oh my gosh. In South Dakota, I didn't think Taco Johns were like a thing anymore, but that's all they have in South Dakota is like all these Taco Johns. Like every like fast food place I saw, it wasn't a McDonald's or like a Burger King or like a Wendy's. It was like Taco Johns everywhere.
Ew, okay.
Oh, like,
what's your favorite fast food?
My favorite fast food? It was Chick-fil-A for a long time, but they hate the gays like very, very much. So I stopped going.
We love gay.
Happy Pride Month, y'all.
Yeah.
My favorite fast food place, I like Culver's is pretty up there.
Okay, so that's like Midwest thing.
Yeah.
They don't have that here in California.
No, Culver's is pretty good. They're just like butter burgers and custard.
This bitch is gonna say like a Quick Trip or something.
Oh, no. In fact, Quick Trip is not my favorite fast food place, though I would probably choose Quick Trip over fast food most days. Did I tell you I went to Quick Trip and I got chicken tenders before Ilean's funeral because I was like, I don't know what we're going to eat, so I'm going to eat now.
I
went to Quick Trip.
Yeah, Latifah's picky. I was like, I don't think she's going to like any of this food.
Yeah, I am picky. But I was like, I'll just save myself the distress of being hungry for the next 8 hours. But I like Culver's or I like Shake Shack.
That's not fast food. It doesn't have a drive-thru.
Oh, so it has to have a drive-thru? Because Culver's, technically, you have to get like a number. You don't get your food at the window.
It's a drive-thru. You drive.
I mean, yeah.
You drive through.
Okay. Well, I feel like.
Okay, wait. Sorry, an aside. I went to Culver's. The Guru's favorite place to go is fucking Culver's. So I took her to Culver's. Inside, bitch, it's full of workers. They have like 1,000 workers like working. I'm like,
they're efficient as fuck.
I'm like, sheesh.
Culver's or this sounds stupid. Popeyes. I love their chicken sandwiches. I love their fries. I love the popcorn shrimp, biscuits, all of that.
Oh, ew, the biscuits.
The biscuits. If they're hot and they're so soft, they're good.
Yeah, if they're hot, they're fine.
Otherwise, you can choke. Yeah, what's your favorite fast food place?
I don't know. I try not to eat fast food because I'm like obsessed with water and like being healthy.
I don't
Um,
wash my face. I just drink water.
yeah. Ew, I hate when I hate when I'm like, I have a headache and my mom's like, just drink water. I'm like, no.
My mom's like, take a nap or like drink hot tea. That's her solution.
Ew. Oh, every time Ilean was sick, she'd be like, Calvin, hot lemonade. And what that means is that she will boil a pot of water and add like the country time, like
Oh my
lemonade.
God.
Yeah.
Ooh.
And she'd be like, it heals, Calvin. And I'm like, that's disgusting, Auntie Eileen. Never tell me that ever again.
See,
Gross.
I do something like that, but it's like boiled water with like the juice of 2 or 3 limes and like ginger.
Yeah, she would just do hot lemonade. And then one time she was obsessed with buying like echinacea, like the echinacea oil. So she would like make me go out to the vitamin shop and
vaguely remember this.
Yeah, she would make me like buy like 2 or 3 like bottles of it at a time and bring it back home. So yes.
Gross.
And I also, this is random, but today I left a Monster in my car open and I forgot, and for some reason I like took a sip of it and it was just like a hot ass Monster. It was like Monster tea. I was like, why did I take a sip of that?
Because you see any cup and you're like, ooh, and you drink it.
True.
That's funny. When I went to Eileen's funeral, I like grabbed a soda, like a soda can, and I like put it in my car because I was like, oh, I'll just drink it later. Or, like, I'll have it. And I like left it in the car, and I had a couple sodas in my trunk. Because I think I got them with like a meal, and I just didn't eat them. And I was like, oh, I'll just bring them into work and like put them in a fridge. But it was so hot that they exploded in my car. Like, we left to go to the brewery because there was like a 3-hour intermission break for like dinner and stuff.
Mm-hmm. Ooh, sorry, hold on. Very, very proud of my family because they were actually like ahead of schedule. Like no long time at all. Like they were finishing fast.
They were really on top of schedule. Some people went missing throughout the weekend. I'm not just talking about the funeral too. Party too.
Oh, I was like, what are you talking about? What?
There's some chisme to that, but I still can't believe like what a wild weekend. What a time. Yeah. That's if you know, you know. That's all.
Wait, what were we talking about? What?
The pool party, people were like,
No, what were we talking about that? What were we talking about?
Oh, I said the soda cans exploded in my car.
Oh, yeah.
I was like, it was so hot that they had depressurized and literally exploded. Like, I was like, what?
Yeah, and then Latifah and Gary and I and our other friend Julie sat outside to eat our lunch, and I took a drink and spit all over Latifah.
You did? I forgot about that. Why did you spit? What happened?
So those I'll try and describe it in English, but it's like the drink, and it has like little tapioca pearls and like little like these tapioca noodles and like stuff like that. Yeah, if you drink it, like sometimes it goes down the wrong like pipe or whatever. So it went down the wrong pipe, and then I just spit all over Latifah. So that was fun. And the girl we were hanging out with, Julie, she doesn't. We know her, but we not too well.
We haven't seen her in like 10 years.
Yeah, so that was embarrassing for me because I also spit up on her, and she just acted like that was like fine, and I was like, "Oops, sorry." Yeah.
Yeah, it was quite the weekend. But yeah, what's your favorite fast food place? I don't know if you said really.
I said Popeyes, I guess. I was gonna say Wendy's, but
I do also like Wendy's.
I think I just like Wendy's because I live next to one.
They are good though. Like,
I like the nuggets.
Like, you know what you're gonna get. Like at McDonald's, you're like, oh, this is a bad batch of nuggets, or like, oh, bitch, High C is back at McDonald's officially. We went to McDonald's this morning, and I was like, I'm gonna get a Coke, and then I looked at it and I was like, oh, there's High C. I was like, my life. I
What?
was like, I'm so much better to now. Like, I can die and I'll be okay.
Ew. For those of you who don't know, like Latifah and I in high school and probably still today,
Still today.
like we only used to drink like fruit punch.
Yeah,
Like we
that's still
would,
a thing now.
yeah. I mean, yeah. So yeah, we love fucking fruit punch. Like we get fruit punch all the fucking time.
But do you have fruit
Whatever.
punch?
Yeah, like true. What was I gonna say?
I don't know. Do you have anything else you want to talk about the funeral or anything?
I don't know. What else is there to say?
Um,
Should we say our favorite memories about Ilean?
of Ilean. Oh goodness, there's so many. I feel like what I remember most about her is more so like the things or her like reactions to things or just like her sternness and just being like very real. Like she was a very caring and compassionate person, but if you were being an idiot, she'd be like, "You're just being stupid. Just get over it and like just do it."
Mm.
But favorite memory? Oh. Hmm.
I'll say some.
Okay, you go ahead.
Okay, so if you don't know, Italian's like not a very good driver, and she used to have a Mercury Mystique, which is like a very old car, and it was
I'm looking
silver,
it up.
and it had like a big scratch on the side because she got into an accident. And so when Ethan and I were younger, before like GPS and cell phones and stuff, um, we wouldn't know like how many minutes it would take to get to somewhere. And so when we were driving, Ethan and I would be like, Auntie, like how many more songs until we get to the place? And Auntie Eileen would like, a song is like 3-4 minutes. She would be like, oh, it's gonna take like 15 minutes to get there, so maybe like 6 songs or whatever. I don't even know if that's the right math. Nope, it's not.
It's like 4 or 5 songs.
Yeah, 4 or 5 songs or whatever. And then we would have her do this thing where we wanted to like drive with no hands.
Okay.
So we would be like, no hands, Auntie, yes. And then she would be like, she would take her hands off the wheel and she'd be like, 1, 2, 3, 4. And then Ethan and I would be like, yes, in the back seat.
She's crazy. Oh my god.
We would be like, yeah. We'd be like, hit 30, go to 30. And she'd be like, no. And then I also remember, so she got the job at the Council on Asian Pacific Minnesotans in 1996 or 7. So I was like 3 or 4 at that age. So I remember going to all these meetings with her, like meeting all these people, and a lot of them still today are like, oh my god, Calvin, we used to come around with Auntie, and we would be with her at all these meetings. And I'm like, okay, cool, I have no idea who you are. But she would take me to all these meetings, and we would, every year, of course, we would plan the Council of Asia Pacific Minnesota, the Asian Heritage Month dinner. So I remember planning a lot of those with her. And I remember being very, very proud of her because I knew that, like, no one else was as powerful as she was. Like, she was, like, the most powerful person in the room to me. And I remember when I think I was 8 years old, and I was taking a road trip with her, Auntie Eileen, and my Auntie Sharon and Ethan. We were going to like Utah, and at school I was learning about biographies, I think, and so I remember being like so proud of her, and like I remember being like, someone has to write this down. So I was asking her like I was like 8 years old, asking her interview questions about her life, and I was like writing a biography about her while we were going on our road trip.
Oh.
And that's something I remember too. And I know that I say that I always yell at Auntie Eileen, but that's because I am her, you guys. Surprise.
I think it's that way though because she like made it okay for you guys to challenge authority and like challenge what people tell you what's right and wrong, you know?
Yeah, because I mean, obviously, because she raised put me pretty much. Um, Obviously, like my personality was gonna come out as for what the fuck? Why can't I talk? Pretty
What is
similar
that?
to hers. Uh, so I was like, it makes sense that we would butt heads sometimes because we are the same person. Except I think
Mhm.
that I'm probably more. I can be more mean, where I think,
I think she just has a softer delivery, or
yeah,
she has like this demeanor about her that's like, you're being really mean to me right now, but you're being so nice about it. Like I don't
yeah,
are,
yeah.
like, are you
Whereas
angry? I don't know.
I'm a bad bitch. So yeah, I think that's what I remember. I guess her.
Yeah. I think my favorite memory of Eileen, oh goodness. I think that first year of camp where it was just like it was still kind of small, and not that I didn't enjoy it in the later years, but it was still like very intimate, and um just getting to know her through that and like the APYC meetings, and just like I don't know, she was always very encouraging and like very much like, you don't have to worry about that, like don't worry about boys, don't do this, like you're gonna be independent, you're very smart, go after your dreams. And like, to her, the only thing that could stop you in life and like being successful is like yourself,
Mhm.
like it was like
Yeah.
you're just holding yourself back. And I think I'm going to I do the miss that already, like in that spirit, because a lot of people won't do that, especially to like younger kids. And I think I said this at when we had a dinner. Like I never felt like she talked to us like we were children, even though we were. She talked to us like we were equals, or like we were
Yeah.
adults too.
Yeah.
Um, and that's something that's very admirable, because especially at like teenage age, people are like very, oh well, you're just a kid, you don't understand. She was like, no, figure it out. If you want to do it, like whatever, go for it.
Mm-hmm.
So
Big brother.
I
And
miss that.
just to think that like behind the scenes, like yeah, we were kids and like it was fun to like go to camp and like have this like youth meeting like once a month. But to think that for all that budget and like all that time, Auntie
Hmm.
Eileen had to like be writing all these grants all the time and like meeting
Yeah.
with all these like old white men that were like, congressmen or whatever, or had power, and she had to like debate them because they didn't know about real life at all, and she had to like meet with them all the time just to get funding, just so that we can like hang
Oh,
out
you
and
cut
stuff.
out.
Oh, hello,
Hello?
hello, hello,
Hello?
hello.
Oh no. Should we just restart? Okay, bye yeah.
Hello.
I um I was like, maybe it's my Wi-Fi, so I turned my hotspot on my phone. So
Okay.
we'll see.
Fierce chickening.
But you're saying Eileen was writing all these grants and stuff, so we could
Yeah.
be like in the group and
Yeah,
stuff.
it took a lot of work for her to be like, I'm gonna really work hard to get funding for these kids. And I think that showed because when she stepped down and the next director stepped in, they cut the funding and they stopped that youth program, like
Yeah, which is
entirely.
super unfortunate. And like, um yeah, I don't know. It's weird because especially at that age, I guess I didn't know that you have like grant writing was even like a thing, because people get hired to write grants like as full-time jobs. Like it's a lot of
Yeah.
fucking work. And it's not easy, and like you can get a grant for like 3,000 or maybe like even 500 or even like 10, 20,000 depending. Um but the fact that she was able to do that, to send like 50 to 80 kids on a week camp for what, 5 years, 4 or 5 years,
Mm-hmm.
as well as run like monthly meetings, and like we held performances, we had guests, like it was just very support. It was a lot of support, and I think it's honestly why so much of us are like, a lot of us take on leadership roles and like jobs and things like that, or like we just have different aspirations, is because of what we gained through APYC and Eileen, truthfully. So
Yeah. And just like a little background about Auntie Eileen, like, what she was born in like Laos. She came with my grandparents and my family when she was young. She's the oldest, and so she went to school in Clinton, and then she also went to school in Minnesota, and she went to Hamline University, I think. Hamline, whatever. And she is the first Hmong woman to pass the Minnesota Bar Association. So she's like the first Hmong woman attorney in Minnesota. And she never practiced, but she did like do her internship, but they call it something else, like a stewardship or whatever, with like the judge Tanyanovich, which I remember because we used to go to her house like all the time, and she had like a crazy like backyard, and I would watch the woodpeckers like at her house. Anyway, and then she got the job at the council, and she like did that for a very, very long time until she stepped down, I think recently actually. And then she moved full time with our family business, the Hmong Elder Center. But in that meantime, she was setting up all these like nonprofits and stuff. And she was a very, very important person in Minnesota, which is why she has a day now. There's like a whole page about it in the funeral pamphlet, but I don't have that with me.
Yeah, there was a lot.
There's a
it
lot.
was literally
like,
like a page. Yeah.
I remember she was one of the people, because we had a second round of Hmong immigrants coming into Minnesota in the early 2000s. She was one of the people to like help. What's the word? Like spearhead? Is that a word?
Yeah.
Sure, why not? Anyway, she was one of the people selected to be like, okay, we need help with bringing all these Hmong people. What are we supposed to do? And for a month, I think she was, or maybe like a few weeks, she was like in Laos and Thailand, and there was like articles written all about her in the Star Tribune and stuff about all this work she was doing, about how she was like helping the second wave of immigrants come to Minnesota. So I don't know why I remember that, but I do.
Yeah. I mean, she was a force to be reckoned with, truthfully. Like,
yeah. And my favorite thing that was said to me on that weekend was when Auntie Sharon was like, yeah, APYC was basically Penny, which is Latifah's mom, and Ilean being like, hey, I have a daughter and I have a nephew. Let's have them meet somehow.
Let's have them hang out because both of them are losers.
Yeah. So to all the kids in APYC, you're fucking welcome. Because it was really about me and Latifah, and we are the main characters, so
I'm the main character of my own life, thank you.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was, I don't know, it's just weird to think about like what all transpired. Like, truthfully, without meeting Ilean and obviously knowing Kelvin, like there would be no podcast. There would be, I literally would not have met Miguel, like 100%, which is weird.
Do you really think that?
Yeah, because I met Miguel through Michelle and Dan. And I met Michelle because she was dating someone in APYC's cousin.
That's true. You might have just stayed in your little Farmington bubble.
Yeah, I would have ended up with a white guy. Ugh. Thanks, Ilean. Ooh, Chile.
How hideous. Okay.
I wouldn't have. I would never.
Yeah. No.
Sorry. But yeah, it's wild to think about.
Yeah. Yeah. So on that night at the pool party, that was exhausting that day.
Yeah, it was.
Just think about, like, first of all, it's like 95 degrees. We're at the burial, everyone's crying, and then like snap, suddenly we're at a pool party, like drinking, having fun.
Yeah.
And then a few hours later we're all like, crying again. So that was exhausting, like emotionally and physically. Yeah. Woo.
Yeah, it was a lot, but I was like, it was, I don't know, it was nice. Like it felt like camp in a weird way. Like it's like, oh, we had to do something and it was serious, and like, and I told Calvin this even when we left the funeral. I was like, I still don't feel like she's gone. Like I feel like she's still here. And it was weird, like going back to the house and being like, okay, where is she? Pop out. Hello?
Yeah. Dude, poor Joa. My grandma and Auntie James and Auntie Sharon were like, Joa, can you please do Eileen's hair and makeup? Um, and I was like, yeah, I can ask Joa to do that. And I was going to, but then I was like, maybe I shouldn't because that might like scar me. But Joa did it, and she did an amazing job.
She did. For those who
Eileen,
don't know, Jewel is a funeral director. Like, she didn't just,
yeah,
like,
she
pull up.
she's like a makeup artist. No, well, technically yes. But yeah, she has her mortician license or whatever. She's a mortician. So she did my auntie's hair and makeup. And she looked beautiful.
She
And
did.
my my grandma, and all my aunties were like so proud of Joa.
Mm-hmm.
And then I was like, Joa, did you cry? And she was like, no. But then I did drive home and bawl in the car after. And I was like, oh, okay, work.
Yeah, to be that close, like, it's one thing if it's like your job and it's like someone you don't know. And even then, I feel like it's kind of like scarring and a little off putting. I don't think I could do it, but like when it's
I
someone that you're close to,
Yeah.
no thanks.
They were like, Calvin, you go help Joa do the hair. I was like, ooh, I don't know about that. That
I
is a little
don't
too
know.
close for me. Yeah, I was like, ooh, I don't know.
I don't know about all that.
But yeah, no, and I've said this before, but my family is like obsessed with Joa. Joa is like one of my close friends that Latifah and I knew from APYC, and cry, but I kind of do.
Okay.
So I'll say this, which is that um, Auntie Eileen passed away, and Auntie Sharon, Joa, to say like Eileen really believed in you, and she really loved Joa, and we exited. I was like, Joa, you have to go home because you have to take Suho home, and I have to take Ka home, and then we got stuck, and Auntie had to say something to Joa too, and she was basically like, Auntie Eileen was like so proud of you for being the first Hmong mortician, and she's always your supporter. She had so many plans for you, and she had all these dreams for you. And I don't think they really answered the question as to why Auntie Eileen loved Joa so much. And I think the answer is that, and someone said this at the funeral, but I don't know if they said it in English or in Hmong. I can't remember, so you might not have heard it, Latifa.
Yeah.
But someone said that Eileen is very good at seeing your potential.
Mm-hmm.
Did you hear that?
Yeah.
Was that in English?
I think so. I mean,
Okay,
it could have been
fierce.
said a few times, to be honest.
Okay. Yeah. So she's very good at seeing someone's potential and knowing what areas to push them in to get them to succeed. And I think that Auntie Eileen really knew that Joa had a lot of potential. And I think that Auntie Eileen saw a lot of herself in Joa, just being like the oldest daughter and like taking care of the kids and taking care of the family and like going to school and like being very selfless. And so I think that when Auntie Eileen sees someone like that, especially among women, she tries to open doors for them because those doors would never open for herself.
Oh, 100%.
And I think that, like, in many ways, Auntie Eileen saw Joa as, like, her own, like, even as her own daughter. Auntie Eileen, like, really wanted Joa as her daughter.
She did.
She really did because I remember I remember Ilean coming home from one of the meetings and being like, "Oh my God, Calvin, I love Jewel so much." And Auntie Sharon was there because she would like be there sometimes during our meetings to do like photo shoots and stuff. Remember?
Yeah.
And Auntie Sharon would be like, "Oh my God, yeah, Jewel is so amazing. She is so powerful. She is motivated. She is, I don't know how to say it and I've told Jewel this, but in Hmong, it's Goa or something. Which I don't really know what that means in English, but I think it means like you have a lot of like oomph in you or something.
Yeah.
So they would always say something special about, there's something special about you or whatever. And so I remember them always saying that and being like, we wish she was a part of our family. We wish she was a nya, which means we wish that she would marry one of you guys so that she could be a part of our family forever.
Ethan, what the heck?
Just
kidding.
And so,
Alicia, we like you. I promise. It was nice to meet you this last.
Oh my God, Alicia listens to the podcast. Ew.
Oh my gosh, Alicia and Isaiah and his brothers. I was like, guys, please.
I was like,
stop.
Please. I was like, don't listen to me talking about
all the things we talk about.
Yeah.
It was funny because my dad listened to my dad and my mom were like, yeah, we started listening to your podcast the other day. I was like, please stop.
I posted a Instagram story. I was like, don't listen, Mom. And she was like, yeah. I will. I was like,
please.
I was like, hold on.
But yeah.
So Auntie Ilean and Auntie Sharon were like scheming to get one of our cousins, Isaiah, to marry Joa. Because that's how freaking much they loved her. Yeah. And so, yes, Joa, I just want to say, if you're listening, Auntie Ilean really loved you. And she thought of you probably as her own daughter. And she wanted to open doors for you. And I think she wanted to open doors for you because she saw a lot of herself in you, a lot of similar qualities. Any strong...
You really want to make Jua cry, don't you?
I love to make Jua cry.
Why do you like making Jua cry?
Because it's like easy and it's kind of fun. But anyway, yeah, no, because she was like crying through the whole thing. I was like, ooh, girl. No, but it's true. Any strong Hmong woman that Ilean sees, I think she puts a lot of effort into, and I think that she wanted to open doors for Joa because she knew that Joa would one day open doors for other women. Mm-hmm. So yeah, that's just something that I thought about because Auntie Sharon and Auntie James were just saying like how much Auntie Ilean was all about Joa, but I don't think they really answered like why. So I just wanted to tell you, Joa. Bad bitches only per, okay?
Stop. The worst.
Yeah.
Your family ever think that you were dating Jua?
No, because we have the same last name.
Oh, okay. We loved Jua so much.
No, because we have the same last name, and we're not related, but it's like you're not supposed to like date the same last name. Remember? I was gonna say someone's name that we know, but never mind, because they broke up.
What?
I was gonna say someone's name that we knew.
You have to text it to me because I don't know who you're talking about.
Okay, cool. Well, they broke up, and it has to do with Spider-Man. So.
They have the same last name?
Yeah, they do.
Ooh.
I mean, it's not that big of a deal, but it is disgusting,
oh my gosh.
And you should be punished for it.
When we were in South Dakota, it was like getting late at night, and we're just playing like Never Have I Ever. We're just playing drinking games or whatever. And one of the guys, he's native, and his cousin was like leading us on our trip. Because he's from that area, he lives in that area. He lives on the reservation out there, so he knows like all the roads, and he doesn't like need a GPS and like all this stuff. And it was so bad. The first question, he's like, because he's like, how do you play? And they're like, oh, you say something you've never done, And then if you do it, if you have, like those people drink and you like put a finger down, whatever. And he's like, oh, okay. And so we start the game. I'll start with his first one. He looks at me and Miguel and he goes, never have I ever had sex on the second floor of this house. We were like, what? But we also were the only people staying on the second floor, and we definitely did. And I was like, I was like, and he like, every time someone else would come outside, he'd be like, okay, let's start the game over. Someone else is here to play. And I'm like, how many times are we going to go through this? But one of the questions he said, because apparently, like, if you're Native American, buddy on the same reservation or the same like tribe that you're from, because you're probably related, type of thing. And he was like, never have I ever dated someone and found out that we were related later. And his cousin was like, I haven't. He's like, didn't you? And he's like, no, I don't. He's like, they're crazy. I was like, oh, I was like, that's weird. I guess I would never have to worry about that. Not here anyway.
I mean, yeah. Who else is a Moss near you except for your brother, I guess?
Exactly. Like, I don't have any family in the state. Exactly. Yeah. But I guess, like, my grandpa did have a family before. Yeah. I'm like, oh.
You know, one of our lost episodes, we talked about the Native American. I don't think that went.
Oh, we never did anything. I was kind of talked about that on the trip because the woman that we rode up with, she's part Native, and she's very involved in like the indigenous Native community. And she's like, yeah, girls go missing, and like the police don't care, so they don't send out Amber Alerts. And the reservation doesn't necessarily care either. But a lot of them, I guess, next to like Russian women, are like the highest trafficked group, like sex trafficked group, especially with like all the pipeline building that's going on. The women are like kidnapped and just like used as like sex slaves and concubines for like all the pipeline workers. It's pretty bad.
That's like terrifying, actually.
And I think recently, I don't remember where it was, but they were like digging up this school, or like they found 215 Native American like kids' bodies.
Ew.
Yeah, and they're terrifying. Like, this is just one school. Like, how many more are like this? But yeah, we went to like Wounded Knee, and like I learned about the massacre of that.
Oh my God, yeah.
Yeah, so we did that, and then I'll share a quick story before we wrap up, I guess. And yeah, but there was this girl who, well, the massacre of Wounded Knee obviously happened during the American Indian War, and it was December 29th, like 1980 or something. And like the American troops had like set up all these guns on the top of the hill, and they sent all their men down to the village where all the natives were, and were like taking all their guns, weapons, knives, cooking supplies, like anything that they felt like that could be used as a weapon against them. And they were trying to fight this deaf native guy for his rifle, but he's like, no, I paid for this, like this is mine. And it's in the exchange for the soldier trying to grab the gun and him trying to hold on to his gun, the gun went off. And so when the American troops heard that, they had these like Gatling guns, which are like, if you've seen like old war movies, it's like the gun that's like a machine gun type of thing, but you like roll it and it just continuously shoots. And back then it was like explosives, not just like bullets. And like massacred the whole village. And like after that, they would go through and like kill anybody they didn't get. But at the end of that, they found like 7 native babies like being cradled by their dead mothers at that point. And I guess at the time, which I was like, this kind of still happens, white people would take these native babies as their own, as like trophies, because it was like cool to have a kid that wasn't white. And I was like, white people still do this. They adopt babies. But whatever. I'm not going to get into that right now. We talked about that already.
Did you see that though? Did you see that white family? They were like, we decided to not adopt from like this Asian country because you can't like share media, so we're not going to do that. Did you see that?
No, but that's they're disgusting.
Basically, yeah, anyway. This white girl and this white guy were like, yeah, we're not going to adopt from, I think it was Thailand, because they were like, because you social media. So it just like doesn't fit right with our channel and like doesn't fit right with our
Oh yeah.
whatever.
Yeah, I do remember that.
Yeah, it was like kind of recent, but whatever.
But basically, like they got all these babies from this village, and they gave them to one of the generals. And basically, that general they had raised that baby, and like at 11 or 12 years old, the wife got upset because the husband was sneaking into the little girl's room and basically he was raping her. But she was jealous that she was getting attention over him. So they sold her to like Wild Bill's circus or like rodeo show, whatever, and like people could pay to see this like survivor from Wounded Knee and like this little Native American girl. And people could like pay to like cut her hair off and like keep her hair. She was still getting raped and she had like a couple kids and she ended up dying at like 27, 28. And she was buried in California. But the reservation over out in South Dakota, they once they found out about it, they like raised money and they had her body. Is it exhumed?
Yeah.
I think
Like
they
take
had
it
her body
out.
exhumed from that grave. Yeah, and brought her
Yeah.
back, and they put her. I saw her grave today, and because she didn't have an Indian name, her name is Lost. Lost Bird was the name that they gave her because she like was just lost. She never got to like, yeah. So that was wild. I learned a lot. This trip was very educational, very scary.
So I told you
I
you
almost
would
got
like
attacked by
it.
a group of. Yeah, it was fun. We ran into a couple herds of buffalo.
Oh yeah. Bitch, I would
Buffalo.
charge you too.
Wow. I saw so many
Imagine
prairie
me.
dogs.
Oh, gross.
What? Go ahead. Go ahead. What are you gonna say?
Oh, I was just imagine me a buffalo just hanging out, and then I hear this loud group of bitches come over. I'd be like mad too. That's like me coming to your house and just being like grrr all the time. I'd be like, I'm in charge. I'm like,
You didn't even
that's so
sound like a
annoying.
motorcycle. You didn't sound like a motorcycle. You sound like Chewbacca.
I sound like that guy who's like gratatata. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Stupid. But yeah,
Imagine that's
I
me.
counted like
Wow.
we saw a couple herds of buffalo, and we are like, first we're like, we have to turn around. We can't come this way, and then we're like, let's inch through it. I was like, fuck. And then Miguel's like, we're not gonna get off the bike. We're gonna stay bit out of here. I was like, I jumped off the bike, ran up on the hill, and I was like, look at all the buffalo. There was like at least 60 to 100, and then like just past that herd was a second herd, so we didn't know if the herds were gonna like battle each other and like the bulls were gonna like try to dominate one another, or because they were trying to protect their calves because they were like newly born. So it was like a lot, but we got out okay. Saw a rattlesnake. That was it was a lot.
Yeah, one time
Counted
I
a
was
lot of
in
wildlife.
one time I was in Yellowstone and like we were riding horses because like it was like the thing, and then we saw the guide was like, "Oh, watch out! There's a wild buffalo," and I was like, "Oh, okay, cool." And then he was like, "Yeah, we have to be very careful because buffaloes hate horses, and they might charge us." And I was like, "Well, then what the fuck am I doing here, bitch?"
That's so real though,
I was
because
like,
we were like,
"Yeah," because apparently, I guess they're enemies. Well, apparently, I don't know why, but they
wow, they're
are.
like fighting over grass or something. Who knows?
I don't know. I
But
don't know.
yeah,
They
it
didn't tell
was.
me.
We literally like had to stop 3 or 4 times because we saw buffalo. There were so many deer. Saw so many deer, so many buffalo, so many prairie dogs. I didn't see any fucking bears though. I'm still upset. I was like, I just want to see one bear.
I
Just
would not
one.
want to see a bear. Ew.
I don't mean like up close, but I just want to see one bear. That's it.
Yeah.
But yeah,
No.
it was cool. It was a good trip. Now my next trip is Mexico, so
Yeah.
it's gonna be good. Do you like laugh into coughing? I'm so confused.
No, I'm just laughing because Latifah, Gary, and I had a conversation about Latifah going to Mexico, but okay.
Oh my gosh. So many people have asked, and like even on the trip, people were like, so I don't know, it's like because someone had brought it up. Someone literally just asked, and they're like, so what's up? And it's like, I'm just trying to eat my food. And I was like, uh
Does Miguel wait? Anyway, we can talk about it
just
later.
go ahead and say it. I don't fucking care. He'll listen. I don't care.
You say it. I'm scared.
everybody is like, when is Miguel gonna propose to you? And I'm like, I don't know. That's really not up to me, and I don't think he'd want me to know, to be honest. So.
Yeah.
And now that people are questioning that it's supposed to happen in Mexico, it's not gonna happen in Mexico, especially if he listens to this
Yeah.
episode.
Well, I was just being like, Latifah, what if he does? And then
I don't think
Latifah had like a nightmare, and I was like,
it
oh,
wasn't.
oops, sorry.
Yeah, I guess it kind of was a nightmare. It was like,
it was a nightmare.
Yeah, it was interesting. But yeah, I don't know. Yeah, we've been together a long time. Will it eventually happen? Probably. I used to have like a timeline on things, and there's just so much shit going on. Yeah. I feel like there's just so many expectations. But I'm also like, I'm 25. Like every time I get older, I'm like, I'm too young to be married.
What am I, a fucking child bride?
Yes, that. But yeah.
You know what we should do if we get more popular? You know that like some podcasts they have like the voicemail where you can like call in and like leave us a voicemail.
Yeah.
We should do that.
We can do that now. I don't know how many we'll get.
No one's gonna call in.
It'll be your mom.
Yeah.
She's like, hey Cal, just wanted to say I love the Big Per energy. Keep it up.
Yes,
Miss you.
Miss you. Were you there? Okay, I'm gonna say the story and then we're gonna end. Okay.
Okay.
Which is so we're sorry about the funeral again. We're at the brewery. It's hot as shit. Oh, first of all, bitch. Sorry. Friday, the day before the funeral starts, I'm driving around. Joel's with me. We're doing all these errands. Bitch, Joel makes our nipple piercing appointment that day.
Yeah, I don't know why you guys did that.
Yeah, I don't know why she did that too. But anyway, we got our nipples pierced together, and then the next day, the funeral, we're like sore. And then Saturday, when we're at the brewery, my mom comes and she sees all the kids and she starts crying. Ilean, and she was talking to my uncles and my aunts. And as she's crying, I like whip out my nipples and I'm like, "Look, mom, yes."
She's like, I don't know, I'm crying.
She's like, there's too much going on right now. Like, hold on, like. So yeah, I like to freak out my mom. Anyway, that's that on that. That was a long episode.
Yeah, but
There's
we're
also
back.
Everywhere. Yeah, we're back, bitch.
I wanted to do an intro, and I guess we'll work on that at some point. But I wanted to be like, welcome, and I want to get like a clip of Meg Thee Stallion going ah, and just put that at the end of like, hey, welcome back to Cupcakes at a funeral ah, and like the intro. Am I ruining it?
Sorry, hold on. One last question.
Okay.
If you were a rapper, what would your ad-lib be?
My ad-lib?
Yeah. Like, you know, like, Megan is like, ah, and like, bow, and like, yeah. You know what I mean?
I feel like mine will be bitch or...
that was mine.
But I'm also like, I don't know if it would be, though. Like...
I think mine would be like,
mine would be
ew.
ho. Mine would be ho.
Oh, really?
Ho or bitch or I don't know. I'm not good at rapping, so I don't know.
Yeah, we know.
Okay, wow, thanks.
Wow. All right. Well,
okay, that's it. Thanks for listening. I have to go to Cane's to get food because it's 10 o'clock and everything is closed.
I want to eat too. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.